is standing by, and he's Anthony Ruggiero. He's a senior fellow for defense of democracies. He was actually an advisor to the 2005 delegation talks on the North Korean issue. He joins me now from Woodbridge in Virginia. Now, Anthony, what did you make of what you saw this morning, these talks, the fact that these two leaders are now having lunch in a very cordial way? Sworn enemies, aren't they?
Well, thanks for having me. I mean, it's definitely historic, the two sides meeting with each other just after Fire and Fury and trading rhetoric and other provocations last year. But, we have to be cautious. It's just, it's just optics. There's no substance here yet. We don't know whether Kim has made a strategic decision to denuclearize. And frankly, that's what Kim wants to distract us from with all these optics is focusing on their nuclear weapons program.
Interesting, and you call it optics, we just heard from Professor Robert Kelly here as well, calling it a big PR stunt. President Trump said he wants these discussions. He thinks they will be tremendously successful. That was in the photo op before they went away to speak earlier this morning, and we'll really only know the outcome of these discussions in just a few hours from now, 4 p.m. local time here in Singapore, when President Trump is due to have a press briefing with journalists. So we'll get some idea from his take from the US, but what do you think might come out of it, if anything?
Well, I think the two most likely options are North Korea is not ready to commit to any form of denuclearization. There's some press reporting suggesting that. And then the two sides just move in a different direction and say, we'll come back maybe in 6 months and see where we are. That's one scenario. The second scenario, which I think is equally likely, is the two sides commit to a framework agreement, probably on denuclearization on the US, on the North Korean side, and something about the U.S. hostile policy on the U.S. side, and then leave it to lower level, whether it's a secretary or foreign minister level, or even lower than that, to work out the details. So I think those are probably the two most likely scenarios.
All right. And how badly do you think President Trump needs this? Because the US is being perceived as something of an international wrecker now, particularly with its allies. President Trump leaving the G7 summit this weekend, pulling out of the consensus there, and the likelihood that he wants to have a win now. How badly off would he be if he doesn't get it?
Well, I'm not sure he's looking for a win that badly. I think we have to let this percolate a little bit. It was only a month ago that everybody was predicting doom and gloom because the U.S. withdrew from the Iran deal, and now we see all these companies getting out of Iran. So I think, give it a little bit of time. I'm sure there are other things that will come out. But, at the end of the day, I think the president knows that he has leverage and advantage here. The maximum pressure campaign, there are some fissures, but he can go back to that very easily. The Chinese are not going to choose North Korea. The South Koreans are not going to choose North Korea over the United States. So the obituaries about the maximum pressure campaign are a little overblown. So we'll see what happens, but I don't think he's desperate for a deal right now.
All right, Anthony Ruggiero there in Virginia. Thank you so much.